Then you need to go to FastLoansAI.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $10,000 regardless of your credit score. FastLoansAI.com is one of the largest lender networks. Their advanced technology can help anyone get up to $10,000. Best part? Money can be in your bank account as fast as the same day. When you need fast cash, go to FastLoansAI.com. That's FastLoansAI.com.
You are listening to the Coach's Corner Show on KYNT, Yankton's home team. Now, let's get you caught up on Yankton High School athletics with KYNT Sports Director and the voice of the Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
And good morning from Hillcrest Golf Course here in Yankton. I'm Bryce Ladwig. This is the Coach's Corner. Yankton Bucks victorious last night, 60-0 over ESD foe Huron. And we're going to jump right into things. But the Coach's Corner is sponsored by Explorers Credit Union. And, of course, all the interviews that we have for the show today are brought to you by Pizza Ranch on the Pizza Ranch phone line. No pizza at Hillcrest here today, but beautiful weather. And we're out here on the, I don't know, what do we call this, guys? A porch? A deck? What do we?
Yeah, a little patio.
Patio.
Yeah.
And the voices of Coach Muth and Olson of Yankton Bucks football. Coaches, good morning.
Morning, Bryce.
You guys hear everything okay? We're doing the remote setup here.
We can hear good. Loud and clear.
All right.
You don't have the background sounds of birds, though, like they do at Augusta, right?
Don't have that. All right. And Muth, talking to your mic again.
Check. Hello.
Well, production value is really soaring here. And you guys are going to have to, I'll tell you what, just for this one segment, we're going to start with Olson. Okay. Coach Olson, defense last night to give you start the season off. And however you want to start, we'll go from there.
Well, putting up a 0 is always a great thing to start with. And, a home crowd and, how the community support, we went through Huron last night. And I thought that the front seven for sure played super tough, limited Huron to minimal rushing yards. And we were a little bit young, a little bit inexperienced in the secondary, but the talent is there. And so once they gel, we're looking for some really great things out of them, and they did some really great things as well. I had a couple of coverage gaffes a little bit there and whatnot, but as far as that, tackling was we were intense, we're physical. We had to tackle a little bit lower. I think all over the board with special teams tackling and tackling on defense. We got a little high, which drew some penalties. We got some face mask penalties in there as well. But, facing, Huron, they have some tall receivers. And they have, Hofer there, who was a quick, powerful guy there in the A position there. And he got up through the seam there a couple times, which we knew he was going to do. They did that last year. They exploited that crease, that seam right there. And, we made some adjustments and limited that, but it was fun for those guys to get out there. I'm happy with what transpired last night as far as defense goes. We have some work to do, of course, but it's the first week, and but we have to get it fixed quick because we're rolling over to Watertown, and they're a formidable opponent, and we got to be ready and running on all cylinders.
Yeah, McNeil, not a bad quarterback for Huron.
Yeah.
As you said, he had some nice passes in that matchup. From what you were expecting from Huron offensively, did that kind of what you saw unfold Friday night? Or did they change things up from you? Or?
No, yeah, that's exactly what we expected. Especially whenever you get the first team of the year coming in, you have to look at film from last year. And then as far as personnel wise, it's kind of a crapshoot until we get kind of a little bit later on in the week. And then we get their starters and kind of see we see their roster a little bit, but you can only speculate, how kids have grown and matured and stuff like that and whatnot. So coming in, we knew that they were going to throw the ball. We knew kind of where they were going to try to exploit us. So they knew they were going to try to run the weak side and run option. And we were ready for that, and we shut that down. And then, finally our defense settled in, our secondary settled in, and we kind of showed a little bit what we can do. We had a couple interceptions there, which was great. Had one that kind of got taken away from us, but that's fine. It is what it is. But anyway, so yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun year. But Huron, they're just don't have a lot of depth, but they have some really good skill players for sure.
No, absolutely, and it happens every year without fail. No matter what, people graduate, Bucks graduate, the other guys have to step up. But the one thing we've noticed the last few years, and you've talked about it every year, that the depth that you keep seeing coming up from the youth levels, the sub-varsity levels, they keep filling in those spots. Bryce Crawl was a huge component last year, but now he is like one of the leaders on that side of the ball. Talk about his performance. He seemed to be everywhere the ball was last night.
Yeah, he was all over the place, and he even provided a key block on offense there too. So he's really stepped it up. And when he had to come in for Shaler Platt last year, when he got hurt, he got substantial playing time, and so he did well then. Yep. And so we're looking for big things out of him, right away. And he proved that he was ready for the challenge. And with him and Matthew Sheldon there, together, that's a pretty good interior linebacking crew. And then you add around them, you have some new guys, but some fast and physical guys. You have Lance Pyre at the apex position there, and he was flying around and looked good in coverage. And then our depth there too. I mean, behind those two guys, we have another senior, Tommy Reardon, who was every time he played JV last year, he came away with 11 tackles. Yeah. And so. We have some depth. We're maybe a little light in a couple areas, but we're working on getting that.
But speed in the secondary, a lot of that.
A lot of speed in the secondary. It's just we're just working with technique now a little bit, and once they get that and the concepts and the transfers of the receivers, and stuff like that, the transitions of ins and outs of that, it's gonna be a fun group to watch, and hopefully we can put the offense in a really good position by creating some turnovers. And even scoring one of our own, which, we thought we had one, but, I guess there's some laundry on the field that prevented that. So, but yeah, it's depth-wise, I'm real excited. We're going to try to keep as fresh as we can. So rolling some guys in and out, like more of a rotation to keep everyone fresh is going to be our key.
Well, you can win the mental game right away. There's some scary-looking guys on the defensive side of the ball. Matthew Sheldon, you already mentioned. Edley Amaro, Talon Kenny is a giant human being.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of guys that are very physical looking. You could discourage some offenses.
Well, and credit, to Coach Rosie's off-season program. I mean, these guys and how their bodies changed from, once we got done in the Dome, in November, till, when we saw them again. I mean, in the summer, I mean, Coach Muth is up there, with them, and, dedicated. Our head coach, that the guy that breathes the passion into everything, and he
the guy that can't talk because his headset doesn't work.
he's spoken me to shut me up, but I'm like, no, he won't ever talk about himself. So, he's up there every morning with those guys in the weight room, and just and the accountability. I mean, these kids want it. I mean, this is a group of kids that want it and that are dedicated and want to do it the right way. And they came out of that off-season program looking like different human beings, and they came out and they played. In practice, I mean, we get physical every once in a while, but there's a couple guys that were ready to uncork because you could just tell they're just kind of holding back. And
they're getting sick of playing each other, right? They want
that different color jersey, and once they saw it, it was their heat-sinking missiles, and they're ready to seek and destroy. And it was kind of fun to see that. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. So.
Last couple of years, it's always been Juven Hudson for Watertown, but still a lot of great athletes over there at Watertown Stadium, my favorite place. But what can you tell me about their offense?
Well, they're going to bring. They have a huge offensive line, and they're never short of skill positions. So it's one of those things where we just got to be ready up front. It's gonna be another physical game. It was very physical last year when we played them. I expect nothing less. We get
ESD football, right?
ESD football. Yep. They're gonna bring it with the double tights and then spread us out and try to get over the top. And our kids are brave. They like to study. They like to watch film. This is probably the most film that they've watched in the first part of the season already. So as long as their grades are up, we see them watching a little bit in school and stuff like that, or a lot of it in school, however you want to say it. But it's kind of hard for a football coach to say, "Hey, don't watch football in school." But I'll
tell my wife to make sure that they get their time to watch film.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah,
that helps. So, but yeah, so we're looking forward to that matchup. Yeah, it's obviously it's next team up. They're a good team, great team, and we just got to be ready for them, prepared.
Coach Olson, congratulations on the big defensive performance last night and the overall Bucks win. And thanks for joining us. And I'll let you hand the baton off to Coach Muth.
Thanks, Bryce.
All right. And now, Coach Muth, you get a talk now.
There we go.
Your voice can be heard.
I'm tired of being kept silent.
This is all a ploy, actually,
Yeah.
by Olson. He wanted to start things off. So.
I know, and I said a lot of funny things in the mic that nobody heard earlier.
Oh, I heard it, but no one else. All right, Coach, obviously you heard a lot of things that Coach Olson said, but big win for the Bucks last night. Starting things off at Crane, extra special, and just a lot of questions that a lot of people may have had were answered right away. You know, Easton Nelson showing his speed from, the backfield right away, and just kind of what does that do for a quarterback's confidence, especially one that's a new starter?
Well, since we're patting each other on the back so much, I'll pat Coach Huber on the back. I thought just the game plan with the way it was set up for a first-time guy, and it didn't matter who it was going to be. There's going to be some jitters because they're both going to be pulling the trigger for the first time, and so. But just to get things kind of situated and established in the run game, and then to give E some touches to where he can have some success on the ground, and then all of a sudden the ball comes out a little bit snappier and everything's, the spiral's a little bit tighter and his footwork is really active. And so I was really excited for E, just because I know this is a lot. There's a lot of pressure on a young guy. We've had if you go back and you look, what our quarterback situation has been like the last couple of years. We've been pretty good. We put some guys up on the wall that have been pretty good quarterbacks. And so whoever it was, knew they were going to be stepping into some big shoes. Lucas Kamshoff was an exceptional football player here, was an all-state player, did a lot of great things for us, was a great quarterback. And Lucas had to do the same thing, stepping in after a guy named Rugby Riken. And so those guys are kind of used to that. But, again, you don't know until the ball gets kicked off what's going to happen. And E got rolling. And it was a lot of fun to watch him operate last night.
From a head coaching perspective, I'll let you give your comment on the defense performance last night.
We had talked about how our team is going to be built, and we knew what we had coming back defensively. I think what you see is just a really, really sound defense. We don't need to do a whole lot of things schematically, but when we dial it up, we're very, very dangerous. And so when you have a defense that can execute that way and can operate in a situation where they can just play base and just out-athlete people, if we can do that, we're going to be pretty good. The biggest thing I liked about our defense is Coach Olson's got guys playing at a high rate of speed. And everything is getting to the ball. The one thing that I love, and people you've come to practice, you'll see that, we hit a whistle to kill the ball, and then there's another whistle, and you better have 11 hats to the ball before that whistle hits. And if you watch us tackle, from a coach's point of view, that's a lot of fun to see what we work on in practice show up in a game. The way we swarm tackled was amazing, and just, movement on the ball and then communication. We got stuck in a couple situations where our coverage was wrong. It just didn't get translated on the field the right way, and they worked it out in game situations rolling through. So everything defensively, just the way that unit has gelled, they really work well with each other, and it's a lot of fun watching them go.
Then offensively, even from the quarterback position, it was a running focus, right? And between Nelson, Cirque, Sheldon, man, why did I start doing this? Because now I'm going to forget someone. But a lot
Jay
of
Solacek.
Yeah, Jay Solacek. Yeah. Guys, excellent running performance, and that really starts. And we'll talk to Huber about it in more detail, of course, but the offensive line.
Yeah, I'll let Coach Huber get into the game plan and how that all worked out. But I think a lot of what you saw was our strength is our offensive line on offense. We've got great skill guys, don't get me wrong, but this year, just the way our offensive line is built and how much these guys have played with each other, they're a really cohesive unit. And so some of the holes we had opening up were bigger than what we got in practice this week. They're just executing. And so, most of our games are going to be run through our offensive line, and that is the way you should do it if you're going to have a successful offense. And so those guys are always going to be a main focal point of our offensive game plan. But you've also got to have running backs that are coached well to understand how to hit a hole and where to cut and where the break is and how to read a block and all of those things. And I thought our backs, we hit the cutback on a power one time for a really big gain. And, those types of things happen because you talk about it and you say, this is what it's going to look like the great thing is in a game is they diagnose it like that, and they make the play, and it's a lot of fun just to see kids have success when they put work in.
Couple bombshells from Sheldon last night. If you look back at some of the highlights during one of them, mid-play, I go, ow. Because
Yeah.
he put his shoulder into someone and put them into the shadow realm and then went off for a score. But playing both ways, his motor just keeps running.
Yeah, Shelley. So there was a point there where he had a long run, and he's coming off. We're not putting him on the kickoff team. And I was like, "Are you good? You need a blow?" And he goes, "No, I'm fine." And he kind of laughed at me. I was like, "Well, the guy over there isn't." He's fun to watch, and that was one of the reasons we moved him to tailback this year, just so we can design some more touches where I don't want to give away a secret, but if he's in the game, he's probably going to get the ball at some point. And so, again, he's just a special athlete, and I love the way our offense is utilizing him this year, and a great 1-2 punch with both him and Ev. That's the thing that's lost. None of them really had a whole lot of carries last night, but Evan got some really, really tough yards too early on when we were just trying to feel everything out and figure things out up front. He got some tough yards, and then he popped that long one. I was really happy for him, but I think you can see there a little bit, the speed and the power, and there's really good combination in our backfield.
And how quickly you forget. Now, we're going into some positions. Some coaches are golfing today.
Yeah,
so.
That's right. Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
it's
we
fine.
got a bunch of yuppies out here golfing.
So we'll talk to you about the running backs a little bit too, a little bit more. How quick you forget Evan Cirk, the power that he has in that frame too.
Yeah, and I'll speak for Coach Savvy because I know he's out there losing some golf balls right now. But no, Evan is. In our off-season program, Evan goes through, and he's one of our strongest pound-for-pound guys. And Coach Rosen has that organized so we can kind of see where people are moving, because obviously some of those bigger guys are going to move a little bit more weight. But when you start to add in how big they are and what their power index is, his vertical jump, his 40 time, his squat, those are all really, really good numbers. And he's not just a speed guy. There was one play there where he got hit at the line of scrimmage or behind, and we ended up with a 6-yard gain because he was dragging guys, and you wouldn't think that. But I think if you think when you're going to look at one guy and say, well, that's their speed guy, and look at the other guy and say, well, that's their power guy, you're going to be in trouble, because Shelley pulled away from guys on a long run, and Evan ran through guys too. So, they both complement each other very well. And Jace is a good mixture of both of them. And so just with all of that and getting our quarterback involved in the run game, just really happy with the way our run game executed last night.
Obviously, you'll take a 60-0 victory every time, but it's one of those things. Is there kind of also a pro and con to that? Because I know you got a lot of reps in and a lot of things work well, but in some situations you kind of had to change things up. You get some depth in there later on, so maybe you lost some reps. Yeah,
there's give and take to everything. You can find good and bad everywhere. I'm not ever going to trade any kind of a situation for a win. I'm going to take a win over darn near anything. And so, but that being said, I think our guys did a good job of staying in it. There's one thing, and we preach this all the time to make sure guys understand that it's not really we want to win in the scoreboard, and we're competing against last night Huron, but it's more about just competing against yourself. If we can look inside of ourselves and compete mano a mano inside our own brain and let the best man win there, we're going to be pretty good, because our guys are talented and they've worked hard. But it's staying in the moment and being a driven competitor. And last night they did it. They didn't want to take their foot off the gas, and we kind of talked about that early on with them. We've been revving you guys up and getting you fired up and getting you ready to go, and we've got you on the leash right now. And on Friday we're going to unhook the leash, and it's going to be a bunch of rabid dogs out there running around, and you're only going to go until you're full. And that's kind of what happened last night. They win as long as they wanted to, and when they got their full, pulled them off the field, and they were good with it. Really good that we got some other guys some good reps. That's where you see real development. We can practice all we want, but to get guys on a Friday night underneath the lights at Crane, there's a different thing there. So all in all, there's a lot of positives there. That being said, our guys also have to understand that that's just this game. So we're going to enjoy it. We're going to get to film, and we're going to talk about it. But really, when it comes down to it, this game is going to be put to bed here in about an hour, and then it's on to Watertown.
Well, I'll ask Coach Huber some more guys I want to talk about, so I'll leave you with one last question, Coach Muth. The renewed rivalry with Watertown the last few years, going back up there Friday, what does that mean to the coaching staff and the guys?
Well, there's no love lost between Yankton and Watertown. I don't care what anybody says. And our guys enjoy going up and playing them just because it is a little bit of a rivalry. And our guys do a good job of understanding traditions. So our guys understand why this game is important and why they want to win it. And every game is the Super Bowl. I get that. But this is a rival. This is an ESD rival, and we want to take care of business. And they're a very talented football team, and they're going to be big, and they're going to be, strong and tough, and they're going to run the football, and it's going to be an old school football game.
ESD style.
Yeah. But, we're not looking by anybody. And so, like I said, the one thing we need to do at all times is execute. As long as you do that, you'll be okay.
Coach Booth, congratulations on a big victory last night, and thanks for joining us here at Hillcrest.
Thanks, Bryce.
All right, we'll take a break here on the Coach's Corner. Come back with Coach Huber and Coach Beacom, and we'll talk more Yankton Bucks football.
My name is Jacob Foken. Running Songbird Kombucha allows me to show my imaginative spirit. Mount Marty was huge in giving me something to work towards and something to become. I didn't set out to become a kombucha brewer. Sort of everything fell into place. The brewing part is how I can be in touch with my artistry and my imagination.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
You can get expert eye care in Yankton with Avera Medical Group Wilcoxon Eye Associates. Here, eye diseases and injuries receive the best care because we offer the newest surgical techniques, supported by the best technology. We'd be honored to be on the forefront of your eye care. Learn more by visiting avera.org/Wilcoxon. avera.org/Wilcoxon.
It's day one of your new career. Parker of Yankton has immediate openings for material handlers, machine operators, and setups for both day and night shifts. Along with a full benefits package beginning your first day on the job, Parker is offering a second shift pay differential of $235 plus a $1,000 retention bonus. Paid vacation, sick leave, 13 paid holidays, medical, dental, vision, supplemental, and paid life insurance all begin day one. Quarterly profit sharing and a 5% matching 401k plan. Fully vested on day one. Apply now at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
The warmer months can be wonderful times that allow for plenty of fun outdoors. However, while you may be enjoying the outside time, pests and insects may be trying to find their way inside. Eliminating a pest infestation and ensuring they don't return can be tough to do on your own. But with Olson's Pest Technicians by your side, you can rest assured you're fully protected. Locally owned and operated since 1966, Olson's Pest Technicians provides reliable pest control services to residential and commercial properties. Visit 800KILBugs.com.
Are you suffering from a recent injury or chronic pain?
Come see us, Lane and Reed Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of techniques to meet every patient's need and preference, including adjustments, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, and rehabilitation.
We are dedicated to providing personalized and effective treatment plans to help you perform at your highest level and feel your best.
Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, or a sports injury, we've got you covered.
Go to SWATchiropracticandrehab.com to schedule an appointment.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explorers CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Do you struggle with dry contacts? At Vision Care Associates, we have a great option. Infused contact lenses by Bosch & Lomb. Infused lenses are designed to ensure that your eyes stay hydrated and irritation-free, even after a full day of wear. Our doctors specialize in fitting these lenses for maximum comfort and optimal vision. Schedule your consultation and experience the all-day comfort and crisp, clear vision you deserve.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Hillcrest Golf Club here. Bryce Ladwig, and we joined by Coach Terry Huber, offensive coordinator for the Yankton Bucks. Coach, we were talking about our chances of getting hit by a golf ball. If we do get hit by a golf ball, you're the one getting hit. You see this angle that you're at right now?
I am on a direct line.
You can't block it because the sun is in your eye.
Yeah, this is tough. This is a tough one to see.
Yeah, so the dedication and the danger you're putting yourself through to talk about this offense is appreciated. So
Yeah, you know, it's a good thing my insurance is up to date. I'm ready to go for this one.
All right, where to start from last night? I guess we start under center. Easton Nelson, and then Tate Bessie also came in. Tegan LaCour also came in, so all the quarterbacks. But Easton Nelson just really, what a way to get rid of any nerves he may have had, you know, letting his legs speak for himself.
Yeah, you know, I think he did a good job of getting himself ready for this game. You know, we had a big competition at quarterback over the fall camp, and you know, you got to choose a guy. And so we led off with him tonight, Tate, knowing that he has just as good of a chance of getting in last night. But I thought Easton just did a great job of taking his chance, and he made everything of it. There was no lapse in him last night. You know, I think on the run game, he, you know, tucking and running for that first touchdown, that's huge. Our O-line made some gaps. They rushed him up the field a little bit. He saw his spot, and then just the legs. You know, there's a lot of people that are they didn't realize how fast he is. Yeah. You know, I've seen him run a few times, and he's played, you know, obviously played before, just in different positions, and you know the burst that he has. But he was very confident in using his legs last night, which was special for him. I think he gained a ton of confidence, and that's what we need from our quarterback. We need them to be, you know, that guy. Just be that guy.
No, I was one of those people that was surprised. I knew he was a great athlete, you know, as far as physically. But after he took off for that first time, I was like, oh, we still do have that. Okay, because for years we've had speed and good arms, but speed at that quarterback position, it looks like that's still true. So.
Yes, absolutely. It makes it so dangerous, you know, especially when we're running zone read and in option. And just to be able to tuck it and run, that's very tough for a defense to cover. If they're all dropping back in that pass, I mean, that's a gimme yards right there, and he took a great job of taking the gimme yards and then took the rest of them.
Muth touched on these guys already, so we'll do rapid fire. But Matthew Sheldon, 3 carries, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. We also talked about the pain he inflicted on some defensive guys, so his performance.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that first one he busted, I couldn't have asked for those guys to block that any better. And it's one-on-one him against the safety. I'm taking that match every time, you know. If I'm a gambling man, those are odds that I'll take. And so I thought, you know, his speed, his physicality, and just his brain, you know, he thinks so fast out there whenever he's going through the hole. You know, obviously the last couple of years he's been an H-back. He's getting the ball a little bit, doing a ton of blocking for us, and, you know, it felt like we needed to get him the ball as much as we can. I thought moving him back to that T position was the best move this offseason. Him and Cirque do a great job working with each other. I really enjoy watching those guys.
The Cirque himself, Evan Cirque, 7 carries, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. We talked about his burst that he has off that ball. I don't know if I'm more impressed with the fact that he is able to move his legs the way he does when he's outsized most of the time against these defenders, or his cutback speed.
Yeah, you know, he is extremely shifty, very strong whenever he's making those moves. You know, the legs that he has on him, his strength and his cutback, that's what makes him so fast, you know. And I think, you know, if there's a guy who I think is one of the most confident guys on the field, I think it's Evan Cirque. You know, I don't have to change, specialize any of our run game. Whatever Shelley can do, whatever Cirque can do, it doesn't matter to me. Both of those guys could be in the entire game. And I don't bat an eye at anything. It's just they're going to run the ball, and they're going to run it hard, whether it's up the gut or they're running a sweep in the 9-hole. It doesn't matter. They're going to be running hard.
And then Jason Lacha, kind of a nice change of pace, kind of right in between those guys as far as his tool set.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's got the power. You know, he's I would say probably not quite as fast as, you know, Cirque is, but he's got the power and he's got the speed, and he's starting to get that vision. You know, I thought his last week of fall camp really impressed me, how he was coming out there and playing. He was seeing the cutback lanes. He was finding those holes, reading our center, and he was doing a great job. He's grown a lot in the last year.
your wideouts. If I forget someone, please help me out.
Yeah.
But we'll start with Carson Ness, of course, playing both sides of the ball. And we talked to him at practice for our kickoff show. And he said something along the lines of he always wants to make the play, or at least a play that changes the game. Well, the game was in hand. However, it was still the play that stands out the most, the 62-yard touchdown. And he had to go back for, the pass was a little short. He had to go back for that ball, come down with it in traffic, and it had two guys run into each other. It was just a really nice play. Just shows you the kind of competitor he is.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about that. Him one-on-one with anybody, that's a matchup, like I said, with Shelley going one-on-one with the safety that I'm taking every time. And Nelly knows that. He knows that at quarterback. He was sitting there, and you watch the film, and he's clapping as hard as he can, trying to get that ball back. And then just, like we said, just throw it up, and Ness is going to make a play. I think the way that he can high point a ball is fantastic. To me, he showed in the last 3 or 4 games last season that he's one of the best receivers in the state, and he came out and he made that argument again game 1. I mean, it's just impressive what he can do on his feet. And then post catch, those yards after contact that he's getting are phenomenal. To make 3 defenders miss, and then nobody else catching up to him, that's just impressive.
And then the con man, Connor Slaba, had a nice couple receptions. Also on the return game, he has done a really nice job. And Cohen Zarbach had a couple grabs last night. Another thing about the wideouts that I want to bring up is their blocking. They also help that run game a lot.
100%. That's an expectation that they have really bought into. It doesn't matter where you're at on the field. If you don't have the ball in hand, you better be blocking. And they do a great job of embodying that. Coach Hale's done a phenomenal job of working with those guys, and so they understand how they need to be blocking and where they need to be blocking. I thought, Zara and Slava last night, they were in the right position every time. They took advantage of their receptions when they were there. Slava, like you said, in the return game, he looked great. He looked confident out there, and I think he's ready to go anywhere that you need him. I know there was a point on defense that we threw him in at corner in case we needed to have him to go back and punt return just because we're not sure if they're going to kick it or not. That's a kid who he doesn't shake. He just knows, okay, I'll go cover this guy, and then if I need to, I'll drop back and get a punt return just because he's a confident leader, and he'll do anything for this team.
The stars need to align, but he'll get open every time.
Yes.
He has that speed, but the speed of a golf ball. Can someone yell for?
Yeah, Muth, watch out for us.
Yeah, Muth's got us. No, but he'll get open, and it just shows you the kind of separation he can get just instantaneously.
Yeah, absolutely. He's so shifty in and out of his cuts. I think this year in the offseason he put himself so he was ready to go game 1. He is in, I would say, mid-season form right now. He's so ready, and he's always asking questions, wants to know, what can I do here, what can I do there? If this happens, what should I be doing? He's always wanting to know kind of the next move, and that takes a true leader, a true guy that's confident in his abilities so that he can prepare like that. Zarbach in there, too. We had that really good back shoulder play to get that first down. Nelly put it right on the spot, but,
on the near sideline.
Yeah, on the near sideline there, and that was a heck of a throw, heck of a catch. That's the kind of connection that we're looking for with these guys, and it's really fun because they're all such good friends. They're so close, and it's really fun to see those guys just take that, and they're just out playing pitch and catch, and it's so much fun to see that.
All right, offensive line, your pride and joy, of course, the Yankton Moving Company. None of that happens without them and doing what they did, and that's a lot of returners on that line worked together for a long time, and I'm sure that is one of the most dependable things going into every game for you.
Yeah, absolutely. At some point last year, all of these guys have started in the game, whether it was due to injury or whatever it was, but the best thing I loved about it last year was even if those guys were just coming in because of an injury, you didn't notice any downfall. So to have these guys coming in the offseason, fighting for positions, but understanding that they need to start meshing and becoming that one, I like to use the phrase that they have to play like a fist. It's something I learned in college is that it's 5 guys working together, to punch somebody in the mouth. And those guys, they really embody that kind of, nasty mentality of we're not going to take anything from anybody. We're going to give it to them at all points, and last night they sure showed it.
All right. Well, Coach Huber, congratulations. Actually, give me a quick Watertown defense preview.
Watertown defense, you're going to see a lot of strength. I think we match up very well with their DBs. Inside, we're going to have to communicate a lot. They're going to be sending some blitzes. They'll be doing some twist games on the line as well. I would say interior strength is probably their hot topic up there. I think their front 7 is something they're always proud of. I think they're going to try to really pack the box for us, especially coming off a 350, 400-yard rushing game against Huron. They're really going to have to pack that box, which I think our receivers are going to be licking their chops after that. So
I should have asked Olsen this as well, and I should have, but I'll ask you. When you're playing on that kind of surface, half grass, half dirt, what does that change anything? Like cleats, or does anything change from your usual preparation?
Yeah, it is a little bit different. We practice on grass, so that helps us a lot. And I think for our guys, it's one of those things where you just can't let it affect you. You get down in there. I played on that field in high school as well. You get down to that baseball portion, and the dirt, it's awful. But at the same time, you're out playing football, so it doesn't really matter.
But it's awful for both, right?
Yeah, it's awful for both. There's stuff that nobody likes about it, but sometimes it's the tough parts that make football fun. And I think our guys, they don't let it affect them. They just go out there and they play football.
All right, Coach Huber, congratulations. I'll have you pass the baton to Coach Beacom here.
Sounds good.
And we'll start talking JV football.
Appreciate it, Bryce.
Thank you. All right, Coach Beacom, welcome in, and welcome to the Coach's Corner.
Thanks for having me.
It's usually at the studio, so don't get used to the sun. Usually we're in the darkness of the studio. So, Bucks defeated Mitchell at home, 47-6 on Monday. Jason Lachek, as my stats are going everywhere, 8 carries, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tegan LaCroix went 5 through 8 through the air, 39 yards, rushed for a score. And let's just start with those two. We're just going to go through some guys here. A lot of guys just making names for themselves in the JV level.
Yeah, Jace ran it really well, but I think it all starts with the offensive line. Like Coach Huber was talking about the varsity O-line, our JV O-line.
How do you move that a little
really
closer to your mouth? Yep, you're good. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think our JV offensive line played really well.
Yeah, and keep going through. Tegan LaCroix, 5 through 8 through the air, 39 yards, rushed for a score. It just seems like also just at the varsity level, same thing with the JV. A lot of guys are going to be seeing some scores this year, and a lot of guys making differences on the offensive side.
Yeah, Tegan LaCroix, he's a playmaker. He's a dynamic playmaker. I was excited to to see him play a whole game because in practice he's been playing a lot of defense. So it was exciting to see him out there.
Carson Krull rushed 3 times, 79 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Also saw some action last night.
Yeah, he had a good fall camp. And once again, offensive line opened up a big hole for him, and he busted through it, and he outran them all and showed off some speed that I didn't know he had. So it was awesome.
Hey, if that offensive line can keep developing from 7th, 8th, 9th into the JV all the way varsity, that's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to the varsity level, because we saw just from last night alone what an offensive line can do for an offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Huber's got to be excited. He's got a lot of prospects there.
And then Miles Drotzman, 2 receptions, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Also an interception last night. So he's making things happen.
He's a dynamic playmaker, too. We got to find more ways to get him the ball in the JV game. Absolutely.
Abel O'Brien, a big frame. I'm expecting a lot of things from him at the JV level this season. A reception, 30 yards, and a score. Have you liked what you've seen from him?
Yeah. Abe's been playing X for us. We threw up a back shoulder to him and caught it for a touchdown.
And then Joel Ribnitz-Hahn grabbed an interception. And you're going to talk for the defense, too. Coach Schwach golfing out there. So you're going to talk defense for us, all right?
All right. Well, the defense played really well. They pitched a shutout for most of the game. Yep. So Coach Schwach had him dialed in.
Yeah, he takes pride in that, as he should. Ribnitz-Hahn grabbed an interception. Brennan Gilmore led the way defensively with 8 tackles. Chase the Motor Platt, 7 tackles. And then Mad McQuaid had 6 tackles and 2 sacks. So just like on the offensive side of the defensive, kind of everyone getting a little bit of share of the pie there.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys making plays. They were flying around, rallying to the ball. And Coach Schwach was sending on some blitzes in passing situations. And Madden had a big one to start the game, their first possession. So
how was it playing at Crane to open up during the heat, of course?
It wasn't that bad because they moved the game back to 7 o'clock. But, yeah.
Still too hot for me, so.
I've played in worse.
I have AC in the booth.
Yeah.
So
we're good. Yeah.
I made that happen. No, but Bucks travel to Pierre on Monday, and what are you looking forward to seeing from your guys up at the state capitol?
I just want to see them go out and compete. Pierre is a rival, so I want to see how we fare against their JV. Another opportunity for our guys to go out and to show that how they've been improving. And, we tell the guys JV game's a great opportunity to earn yourself some playing time on Fridays. So.
And Coach Beacom, Coach Muth's talked about you at length in some other interviews I've had with him and stuff. For those that may not have heard those. Give us a quick background for you, and because you're new to the varsity staff.
Yeah, last year I coached 8th grade, and then previously I've coached in Vermilion and Centerville before. So Coach Muth likes to talk a little bit too much about me, I think. But yeah, I've had some success.
Mostly good stuff.
Yeah,
mostly.
I've been fortunate enough to have some good players and some good things happen in my coaching career. But I'm excited to be a part of this program and excited for this season.
All right, Coach Beacom, thanks for joining us here in the Coach's Corner.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a break, come back, and actually, you know what? No, we're not going to take a break. I will talk 9th grade football, and then we will take a break. So I'm going to go through that real quick. Bucks fell to Pierre at home 28-13 on Thursday. Malik El Mustafa had 9 carries, 45 yards, 2 receptions for 17 yards. Jackson Kudera was at 9 for 14. For 196 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cash Llewellyn hauled in 2 receptions for 2 touchdowns and 95 total yards. Isaac Sirk, 3 receptions for 62. Max Weisenberger, 1 reception for 22. Corbin Saylor recorded 6 tackles. Cash Llewellyn had 4. The Bucks travel to Mitchell on Thursday. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's start talking Yankton Bucks soccer here on the Coach's Corner. Thanks for joining us. Coach's Corner brought to you by Explorers Credit Union. We're here at Hillcrest.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT&RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Campsites full at Lewis and Clark Lake? Hey, you can still enjoy all what Yankton has to offer this summer by staying at the Holiday Inn Express or Fairfield by Marriott. The Holiday Inn Express features large rooms with free breakfast and happy hour. The Fairfield by Marriott offers you comfortable modern rooms, free breakfast, and plenty of parking for a boat or camper. Get a great rate and flexible reservation changes by calling the Fairfield or Holiday Inn Express in Yankton direct.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
Do you want a job that keeps it real? At Truxedo, a real truck company, we keep it real by promoting our values of excellent service, teamwork, accountability, and innovation. Join the Truxedo team and enjoy your next career adventure. We have a variety of openings, including senior EH&S specialist and weekend maintenance technician too. So don't wait. Get up, get out, and apply at realtruck.com/careers and start your next adventure with a career at Truxedo.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig here. We're at Hillcrest Golf Club, Country Club, Golf Course. Coach Hansen, what do we call this, do you think?
Country Club.
Country Club as the music. I didn't realize the music was so loud. Sorry, it'll go down eventually. But anyway, Yankton Bucks soccer. Let's just go ahead and start with the week, Coach Hansen. Actually, first let's talk about yourself. This is the first time we've had you, quote-unquote, in studio, even though we're at Hillcrest. But
Sure.
Again, a quick background for those that may not have heard you before.
How far back?
Your coaching career.
Okay. Started off at a volunteer role at Mount Marty. Moved into an assistant role at Mount Marty. Then moved more into youth development, so I started coaching in Yankton. Coached there for 6 years. The group that won that state championship, I had them for 6 straight years. And then when they were seniors,
didn't really have an age group to follow up with, and was also trying to just maybe seek out different challenges. So I moved up to coaching in Sioux Falls while still living in Yankton for Dakota Alliance, and then did that for 3 years. Dave retired. I interviewed.
Opened up.
Yep, we're here.
This week, Bucks fell to Sioux Falls Jefferson 4-0. That was at home on Tuesday. We'll start with that. That's a tough Jefferson school, and you said that you had a lot of experience with those kids, right?
Yeah, good chunk of them. Let's see, Oakley. I coached him for 2 years. Christian Coronado had him for 2 years. Let's see, Connor Rock at the back. I had him for 3 years. So good chunk of kids out of that starting varsity group.
So it's your fault, is what you're saying?
It's not my fault, but
No, but I noticed the Bucks, and I'm running camera for those broadcasts and stuff. I noticed the Bucks in that matchup seemed to get some chances on the offensive side, just couldn't quite get it into the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, Matty Ware had a heck of a game, right? If he doesn't make some of those saves, that's
nice
a much closer score line. So that 4-0 is flattering a little bit, and we can definitely be disappointed in it, but we created the opportunities that, if we bury them, then you're looking at a much, much different score, much different ball game too. So.
And as far as health, you're out, Kevin Ortiz. What does that do to this team?
Obviously, it makes our back line not as solid, and I think we're seeing some of the goals that we're giving up is a byproduct of that. So we're really having to go back to basics and okay, this is how you defend as a unit. You're missing one of your guys who can maybe overcome some of your deficiencies, right, or where we're leaving gaps. So back to basics, trying some different solutions there, and see what we can come up with.
Well, guys graduate, and it's their first year with you at the helm and stuff. So are you liking where the team is from where, first contact with the team to where they are now, from what you had in your mind of where you wanted them to be at?
I'll say I think we're all a little disappointed with where we're at today. I didn't think we'd be, 1-4-1. I think we should probably have a couple more wins under our belts, play a little bit better. But I am seeing incremental progress in the things that I'm asking to do. We're keeping the ball better. Maybe our game against T, we didn't do that as well. We are creating some high-quality chances. We're just not burying them. We got to get better defensively to not give up. I would call them maybe softer goals that we shouldn't be giving up, or opportunities that we shouldn't be giving up. So that's really what we've been working on this week when we can.
Where does T area stack up when you're talking about them or Jefferson? Kind of the similar teams or for the Bucks to face off against, or basically what's the T story?
T doesn't play, I would say, as solid, as clean fundamentally as what Jefferson did. So that's a game where we really hoped to get a better result out of that one. Gave up some second half goals that, you look at it on paper, you'll want them back. So unfortunately for us, we've already played 50% of our season in our first 2 weeks.
Goes fast.
If you look at us as across the state, though, we have played the most amount of games out of everybody else. So it's been slightly challenging. Like T, that was their 4th game. We're on our 6th on a 14-game season. Yeah. It's not overly friendly there. So
yeah, that's a good point, because I was looking at the standings. It was like a week ago now, but I was looking at the standings, and there's still some teams that didn't even have games registered yet. So it's
like Harrisburg, we played our 4th game. That was their 2nd game. Yeah. They had a week off from their 1st to their 2nd. So that's you don't really know what you have until you play your first game, right? Like maybe these guys are really great in training, or maybe they're not. We didn't get a chance to really fix anything. They had a good week to train, fix some things that they were, and it's kind of been. We'll get over it. We get more rest at the end of the season, which will be good for us, but we don't get much rest once we started kicking off our games. So,
Bucks travel to Brookings on Tuesday as part of that doubleheader. Where do they play in Brookings?
Fishbach. It's grass stadium. Yep.
Okay, and you've had teams there before and stuff. Is it a nice stadium to play at?
It's a nice field. Yeah, nice. It's a real nice. They keep that grass. The complex itself is actually pretty nice, but then they keep the stadium where they play the high school games. They keep that pretty off limits through their tournaments and stuff. So they keep it in pretty good condition.
Well, you always like to see that.
Yep.
Touch on the sub-varsity a little bit, Coach. I always ask, and every week I'll be asking you this about too, so
Sure.
you know over your head, but you didn't get as much detail as you want or not get
Sure.
into, but I always like to know about the health of these programs. So what are you liking from your sub-varsity?
JV, it's been a rough start for them, but we ask for feedback. We ask kids to reflect on after practice, after training, after games. This last reflection, it's been kind of crazy. They could very easily have dropped their heads on, hey, we're just a bad team or whatever, but they know they have things to work on. They're putting in the work, and you're seeing a byproduct of that work on the field. So their games have been, they got mercy ruled a couple games ago. This last game, we had the lead until the last 12 minutes against T. That's great progress in a week's time of work. Just really going back to basics of technical work, how to defend properly as a unit, all of those things, and games are getting more competitive for them. Let's keep that work up. If our JV can continue that work, continue to get better, that's going to push our varsity, right?
Helps the whole health of the program.
Helps the whole health of the program.
No, absolutely. Well, Coach, I'm looking forward to seeing the Bucks keep turning things around here, and we won't be up in Brookings, but
Sure.
when's the next home game, or when's the next couple games? I have the Brookings one written down here, but that's it. Let me see.
We're kind of going game by game right now, to be honest with you.
No, I'm just talking about schedule. I'm trying to figure out when we're going to be covering Bucks soccer again. But I was going to make a joke that Braden Butler is going to yell at the press box for you to come up for your interview.
That'd be a good idea, or just a little text message. I give we do a breakdown, and then it's just kind of, especially away, it's like, let's get on the bus, let's get out of here.
No, I was giving you grief.
Yeah, I heard that. My wife told me when I got home. She's like, you forgot to do your radio interview. I was like, oh. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'll talk to Braden later.
Yeah.
No, it's just giving you grief, but I always appreciate you taking the time, especially coming here to the Coach's Corner this morning.
Yeah, it's an early morning for me anyways, so
yeah,
morning session.
And you didn't get hit by a golf ball. So
did not get hit by a golf ball. I appreciate that.
The success is starting early.
We got the football coach here just glaring them down so they won't swing too hard.
There we go. Coach Jansen, thanks for joining us.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll take a break here on the Coach's Corner. Come back here from Hillcrest.
¿Está buscando una casa para comprar? Me llamo Deb Speck de Vision Real Estate y puedo ayudarle a encontrar la casa perfecta. Yo sé que la barrera del idioma puede ser difícil, pero puedo facilitar el proceso. Escoja a un agente que se habla español. Envíeme un mensaje de texto 605-661-9398.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
If you're aged 45 or older and haven't had your screening colonoscopy, now is the time. Healthy Aging Month is right around the corner, and Yankton Medical Clinic encourages you to be proactive with this important screening that could save your life. With 3 general surgeons on staff and an on-site surgery center, Yankton Medical Clinic makes it easy to get started on the right path to your healthy aging. Call 664-2742 or visit yanktonmedicalclinic.com. So much care, so close to home.
The other day, a guy came into the UPS store to pick up some blueprints we had printed for him. While we were finishing up the order, he asked about business cards as he was about out of his current supply. Hi, this is Doug at the UPS store in Yankton and Vermilion. We all have various printing needs and the UPS store is here to help. Stop into our locations in Yankton or Vermilion and ask about our current print specials. Oh, the gentleman from earlier? We had new business cards ready for him the very next business day.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week, it's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. and count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Back to school is an exciting time for students. It can also be a very stressful time. This is Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson from First Chiropractic Centers. Heavy backpacks can cause injuries in children, so start the year off right and make sure your child's backpack weighs no more than 5 to 10% of their body weight and doesn't hang more than 4 inches below the waistline. For pain or discomfort resulting from backpack use, call First Chiropractic Centers. Making life better, one adjustment at a time.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig here at Hillcrest. Thanks to Coach Dave Hansen joining us talking at Yankton Bucks soccer. And let's start talking Yankton Gazelles soccer. Gazelles took a 5-0 victory over Sioux Falls Jefferson on Tuesday at home. Jocelyn Elwood scored a 3-goal hat trick for the Gazelles. Ayana Becker and Eden Wolfgram each scored 1 goal. Then the Gazelles tied T-Area 1-1 on Thursday on the road. The Gazelles are now 3-2-1 on the season, 6th out of 20 in AA. And they now travel to Brookings on Tuesday for a 4 o'clock matchup, the first game of that varsity doubleheader. Coach Tyler Schering did catch up with our very own Braden Butler for a post-game conversation. It's a quick one, but we'll go ahead and play. This is after the T game on Thursday.
Coach, it's a 1-1 draw on the scoreboard. It's a game that was in Yankton's hands late, and a miscommunication there down the stretch leads to an own goal. But outside of that 5 seconds of just a mental mistake, great soccer. Seems bell to bell. It ends up in a 1-1 draw. What are your initial thoughts with how your team played out there, handling some heavy pressure from T?
Yeah, our soccer is a heartbreak game. Sometimes the better team doesn't win. But I thought you really had 2 solid teams, 2 equally matched teams just going back and forth out here tonight. I can't say enough about just the effort they put out. We got a 1-0 lead here in the second half on a kind of a mosh pit off of a corner kick. Ayana was in the right place for a header and put it in the back of the net. Congrats to her. After we got that, we played with them for a little bit, and we adjusted our formation a little bit just to kind of shore up the defense. And, unfortunately, just miscommunication on the back line, happened, and, they were able to take advantage of it. And like I said, that's just the way soccer goes sometimes. You're out here working your butt off for 80 minutes, tired, mentally tired. It's tough to always keep your focus, but I thought the girls played a really good game overall.
And, you mentioned Ayana Becker getting on the score sheet again. Her 5th or 6th goal already this season. You guys moved to 3-2-1 with the draw. Got to go back on the road again next Tuesday against Brookings. We'll take a quick look ahead of that. I know a little shorter on the post game here with the quick turnaround for Bucks soccer, so do apologize for that. But you got quick turnaround back on the road against Brookings on Tuesday. What are you expecting as you go up to take on the Bobcats?
Up at Brookings, they play on a big grass field up there, so they're probably going to look to spread us out. But I think with the width that we can create with our team, we match up to that pretty well. And I think we're going to be able to utilize the big green up there. I think it's a game that we can go get and we should go get. But as always in the soccer game, you got to take care of business when you step on the field.
All right, thank you to Coach Tyler Schering for joining us in the post game with Braden Butler. We'll take one last break, come back, and talk Yankton Bucks golf with Coach Brett Syme here on the Coach's Corner, powered by Explorers Credit Union.
Investing in your home is easier and more fun when you have local choices. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Pizza Ranch is all about the cookie. This is Mike from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Get ready for our famous family-sized chocolate chip cookie filled with chewy, gooey, chocolatey goodness. And right now, you can feed your group for just $20. Grab our online pizza deal, 2 single-topping medium pizzas, a small cheesy ranch sticks, and a small cactus bread, all for $20. Simply go to pizzaranch.com to order now.
Whoa, that's good.
Medicare coverage is not a one-size-fits-all coverage. Do you like to travel? Are you wanting to spend your winters down south? Or just spend some time with your grandkids? Make sure you choose a plan that fits your needs and will travel with you. Visit Julie at Missouri River Associates to review your upcoming Medicare or your current needs. That's Julie at Missouri River Associates, 665-6885.
Investing in your home is easier and more fun when you have local choices. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig here, along with Coach Brett Syme here at Hillcrest. And let's start talking Yankton Bucks golf. And why is the music so loud today? These are the questions I have, so don't turn down. All right. Anyway, so Yankton Bucks golf. Man, we'll just jump right into it. First of all, how have you been? I think this is the first time we've talked in person first time we talked this in person this season.
Yeah, no, doing pretty good. We've had a good first few weeks of the season and just trying to ramp up for the rest of it.
On a personal note, how's your recovery going?
It's going pretty good. Tore my Achilles back in February, and it was kind of a rough girls golf season having to deal with that. But everything went well, and we had a pretty good golf season. And over the summer, got some more rehab done, and back to walking pretty much normal. And even like I was just telling Coach Muth. Physical therapist has got me starting to jog, and I said, well, I really don't know if I necessarily want to do that, but
just in general,
here we are back at it. But yeah, I got to coach basketball with Coach Muth in the winter again, so got to get back at that and try to be able to jog up and down the court a little bit.
Well, as far as Bucks golf and practicing and stuff like that, since you've had contact with the team, it seems the weather's been great for golf, as far as a person like me could tell.
Yeah, weather's been pretty good. It's really cooperated with us really well at the beginning of the season here. Like I said, it's crazy. We got 3 weeks in already. By the end of next week, we're basically almost halfway through the season. The team is starting to kind of round itself out. We're kind of looking at maybe 7-8 players for the varsity team, and in the end, we only get to take 6. But we've got a lot of kids that are showing a lot of promise, and we've had a pretty good season so far. So it's been a really good start to the season.
Well, I love when you come to the show because I always see you with your big results notebook, and all I ever have to do is go, hey, Bucks traveled to Hillsview Golf Course in Pierre on Tuesday. Coach Syme, give us the scoops.
Yeah, we had a great tournament in Pierre on Tuesday. We left Monday right after school. We do that every year so we can go up and maybe get a little practice on Pierre's practice areas instead of just practicing here and then driving up. Got up there, we kind of saw that there was a storm rolling in, so we got out and got some good chipping and putting practice on their practice areas, and grabbed some Domino's pizza on the way to the hotel, and by the time we got to the hotel, it was raining on us, so we were hoping that wasn't going to affect anything for the tournament, but it didn't. We had great weather for the tournament on Tuesday. The course was a little softer because of the rain they got, and I think that helped the scores come down. Just a great field at the Pierre Invite. Pierre went out and shot unbelievable. They shot 15 under par to win the tournament. Watertown was behind them with 12 under. I mean, Pierre had a kid that shot 8 under himself. But just it's going to be tough in AA golf this year. There's a lot of really great teams. And so for our team to come out with a 4th place finish in that tournament was a great finish for us. And individually, we had everybody shoot under 80, and whenever we can do that, it's going to be a successful tournament for us. Riker Larson, one of our seniors, shot 1 over par 73. You know, that's probably his personal best, maybe by a little ways in a tournament situation for us. Eli Larson, a sophomore, shot 75, tied for 17th. Easton Velick, Kai Cody, and Parker Riley all card to 76. And Braden Berkland, an 8th grader, shot 78 for us. So whenever we can get all of our golfers under 80,
You'll take that every time.
It is amazing, yeah. And to shoot 300 on that course where we haven't played a lot, but like I said, conditions were pretty good for scoring. It was great, and to beat a Mitchell team that had beat us, in the Sioux Falls Warrior Links Invitational, it was great to beat them. We got them coming up next week, so we're hoping to maybe get the Marchand Cup back.
Yep.
But it's always fun to see how we compete with these teams, and our kids right now are competing on a pretty good level. It's just those teams that were ahead of us, Pierre, Watertown, and Brandon, they're just really playing unbelievable golf. So, if we can stay in that top 5 or 6, that's a great tournament for us.
I think you take care of your own stuff, right? And if you shoot under 80s, like you said, it's a good thing to have.
Yeah, we don't have the chance to play defense against other teams
well, you
like
could,
football,
but
basketball.
they do discourage that, I've been told. So, Bucks travel to Broadland Creek Golf Course in Huron on Thursday, and another chance for the Bucks to shine.
Yeah, we went to Huron Thursday. Looked pretty good. There was a little bit of a chance for rain in the forecast, maybe a little bit windier than it was in Pierre. But got up there, weather was great to start. There was a chance when we got out there, got the tournament started, maybe 5-6 holes into it. A storm was kind of coming up on Huron, but it actually skirted us to the southeast. They almost pulled them off because lightning was getting kind of close, but decided to kind of wait it out. And it was a good choice because it never did get close enough to call them off the course. But all in all, a good day. The wind did come up and blow a little bit, and out there, not a lot of trees on Broadland Creek, so that does affect the conditions a little bit. But our team went out and competed really well again. To shoot, I think it was 305 at Broadland Creek, which is a tougher golf course than Pierre and one that we don't get to play a lot, was a great result for us. And again, we had a golfer go out and shoot 1 over par, Parker Riley, senior for us, tied for 5th. Easton Velick, who was kind of our leader all year last year, shoots 2 over par, tied for 7th. He really had it going during the round. He was 3 under par at one time and just had a tough 3-hole stretch that, kind of came up and bit him, but then he really brought it back, kept his head in it and fought hard and grinded it out to a 2 over par, tied for 7th, 74. Riker Larson, who led us in Pierre, shot another good round, 78, tied for 26th. And kind of a newbie to our varsity lineup, Easton Skelhaus, shot 80. So whenever we can go to Broadland Creek and have our worst counting score be an 80, that's a great round for us. And to shoot 305, whenever we can get down under that 310, it's going to be a good tournament for us, and we're going to be able to compete with a lot of the teams that we need to try and be able to do well later on in the conference and the state meets.
Well, you and I are 6 years into doing this together for this conversation, and we'll be 12 years, and I'll still ask this, because you never know when someone is listening for the first time or may not know, but the Marchand Cup, Tuesday, and that will be at Fox Run Golf Course. Kind of what is it, the background, and how is it unique?
Well, the Marchand Cup is always one that I think our kids really look forward to. It's a little break from playing stroke play like we do every time, where you just hit every shot. And
this is Bucks and Gazelles. They both do it.
Yeah, we do. We do it in the fall and the spring. It's in memory and in honor of Rob Marchand, who, a long time ago was a Yankton high school golfer, and he actually was the varsity head coach for Mitchell's golf team for a few years. Tragically died of cancer. This is years back. I can't remember how many. We've been doing it for a long time now, and we were supposed to have the Mitchell Duel, just a stroke play event. I think it was the day after his passing, and we almost thought about calling off that tournament, but Coach Marchand always talked about how he'd love to do something different and have some fun while still competing. And I talked to the Mitchell coach, who was Mark Horn at the time, and we kind of came up with this idea of let's kind of do a Ryder Cup style format and have some fun with it, honor his memory, and just go out and compete and have some fun and have a cup that goes along with it, kind of like the Ryder Cup does and everything. But it's a great tournament. We're going to go out, we're going to play 6 holes of best ball, is what a lot of people call it. They play their own ball, take the best score, compare it against the other team, and at the end of the 6 holes, whoever's ahead, they get a point for their team. If it's tied, they get a half a point. The next 6 holes will be a scramble, which is really a lot of fun for the kids. They hit their shots, they take the best one, hit from there, hit their shots, take the best one until they hole, compare it against the other team, same thing. And then the last 6 holes is where it really comes down to it. It's the singles matches. So you just play mano a mano. And, our number 1 will play against their number 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, and so on. And there's 12 points that come out of that one, so it's a huge deal for us. And, it's going to be fun. Our boys are really ramped up about it. I think Mitchell's had the cup for 3 or 4 years now, and our boys are really hungry to get that back. So looking forward to going out to Fox Run. They've been gracious enough to host it, and they're going to let us, I think, do a shotgun start on Tuesday at 2 o'clock, and we're just going to go out and try and compete hard and get that cup back for Yankton.
No, absolutely. And then you have another event right here at Hillcrest. Are you here to scout? You here to scout?
You bet. We're always out here scouting.
Yeah, quadrangular Friday here at Hillcrest, and is it nice just to have a week of just home competition?
It's gonna be nice to have 2 weeks actually. We've got Tuesday and Friday next week at home, and then we don't have another varsity tournament, I think, until that next Friday, which is the Yankton Invite out here at Hillcrest again. So, yeah, it's going to be nice to be at home for a couple of weeks. I think it'll be nice for the kids, too, to maybe catch up on, some schoolwork, maybe even just some sleep, some rest time. But, we've been on the road quite a bit here early on in the season.
All right, love to see it. Coach Simon, thank you for joining us here on the Coaches Corner. And are you going to enjoy the rest of your day out here?
Well, I'm going to enjoy the day. I wish I was out there golfing. It's a gorgeous morning. Looking forward, actually, to next Friday's meet, because it's actually going to be a really competitive tournament. Some of those teams that I was mentioning earlier, they're going to be here.
Yeah, who's all here? I can actually look. Let me see.
It's Harrisburg, Brandon, O'Gorman, and us. And
that's a good lineup.
Yeah, those 3 teams, they have consistently beaten us. We actually beat Brandon at Fox Run earlier this year. But those teams are looking at being, in the top 4 or 5 teams of the state. So we're looking to see how we can match up with them on a course that we're familiar with. It's a tough course to play. I mean, it's got some challenges, but we've got some course knowledge. So hopefully we can go out and compete really well next Friday.
All right, Coach Simon, thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks a lot, Bryce.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and continue here from Hillcrest.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explorers CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Looking for a dealer you can count on? You'll find it at Lewis & Clark Ford. This is Brandon Tykerl. We've got a great inventory selection of new and used inventory, knowledgeable staff, and prices that can't be beat. We also have on site Lewis & Clark Marine, and prices are slashed on all of our new and used boats. The season is ending and we need to sell these boats now. Lewis & Clark Ford and Lewis & Clark Marine, 4th and Capitol, Yankton.
Ground beef is only $2.99 a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And $2.99 a pound is not just the price today or this week, it's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop and count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for ground beef every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
What's the best beverage to enjoy while rooting on your team? 1919 root beer, of course. 1919 is brewed in small batches with only the finest ingredients, real sugar and real vanilla. The unique recipe and these choice ingredients make 1919 the creamiest, full-bodied draft root beer available. Find it in 12 packs and single-serve cans at grocery, convenience stores, and restaurants. 1919 is alcohol-free and contains no caffeine, making it a beverage of choice at any time for anyone in the family.
The Boathouse is for everyone. Axe throwing, mini bowling, shuffleboard, beanbag, golf, pool, and darts. Plus awesome food and drinks with lots of cold craft beers and other beverages. Some say the Boathouse is the most fun you can have on land. Trivia on Tuesday nights, music bingo on Wednesdays with live music on Friday night. This is downtown Yankton's fun gathering place for all ages. If you can't be on the boat or at a Bucks or Gazelles game, then it's the Boathouse.
All right, the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig here. Thanks for joining us at Hillcrest Golf Course Club, Country Club. I don't know, the patio out here in the sun. You know, I was going to say the first hour of the show was really nice. Nice weather. And now the sun's starting to beat down on me, so I'm no longer a happy camper. But the show's almost over. We're going to talk Yankton Gazelles tennis here. Gazelles travel to Pierre on Tuesday and then travel to Huron on Thursday. And with, you know, the results and things of that nature, Braden Butler was able to catch up with Coach Ryan Haig. I was unable to, so appreciate Braden for also interviewing Coach Haig. And thanks to Coach Haig for joining Braden on the Pizza Ranch phone line. We'll actually go ahead and play the interview for you right now.
Braden Butler here for the Coach's Corner. Joining me currently is Ryan Haig, the head coach for Yankton Gazelles Tennis. Coach, as we're talking, the Gazelles are scheduled to be in Brookings for a quadrangular, so a lot of matches being played today. How is that going so far, if you can tell us at all? And then how are you doing today?
Yeah, we're in the middle of our first duel against Harrisburg and took 2 of the 3 doubles matches, and our singles are all on court now and playing well. So, you know, things are going well. It's a beautiful day. Should be a great day for tennis. You know, a lot of ESD matchups going on here today and tomorrow, and so we're excited. We're excited to get out and showcase our talents and you know, hopefully come away with you know, some good results.
You know, starting this year, I know in team play, the Gazelles have been playing very well. I think they started 4-0 or 5-0. You can correct me there if I'm wrong. A couple setbacks, but as a team, still looking really good. Who has really stood out here early on in the season that's, I know, contributed? It looks like across the board, girls are winning matches, but who's really stood out for you early on in the season?
Well, you know, it's kind of the usual suspects, you know, up top with Nora and Sabrina right up top. You know, they're obviously the most experienced players on our team, and you know, that experience goes a long ways, and those 2 girls obviously lead our team, and kind of as those girls go, our team goes. And we're very fortunate to have the level of play at the top of our lineup that we do with those 2 girls. And, you know, they're having fantastic years, both of them, Nora and Sabrina. And you know, I think in doubles, I think they're undefeated in doubles. And I think Sabrina has a couple losses in there to Watertown and Rapid City Stevens. But, again, 2 of the better girls in the state, no doubt. And Sabrina's definitely right there with them. And you know, that table could get turned, you know, when it matters most in October. So, you know, those 2 girls kind of lead the team for us, no doubt about it. Paige Mitchell's back in the lineup from a year ago. Last year, you know, she was out with an injury. She's back in the lineup at 3, playing very, very well, a very confident young player there. So, you know, excited to see what she can do as the season progresses. And then, of course, our senior at number 4, Addison Gordon. Again, a very, very talented player at Flight 4, and she's having a fantastic year in her own right. So, you know, those 4 up top, you know, kind of really get us going. And then we've got Megan Scott and Kara Kerner, Kara at number 5 and Megan Scott at number 6. You know, when those girls have confidence in their play, you know, they're very formidable opponents. And sometimes it's, you know, making sure that their confidence is where it needs to be is kind of a chore at times. But those 2 girls. When they're hot, they're hot. And, you know, I think they're going to get hot here coming in this weekend. It'll be perfect weather, and they, you know, get their confidence going in the right direction, and they'll be fun to watch, no doubt.
I know it's hard to ask about the future, like what's coming next for the team when you're currently on the ground in Brookings right now with your quadrangular. So I know Bryce will go over the full results either before or after this interview plays for the Coach's Corner. But could you just remind everyone, you mentioned Harrisburg, you're going well so far against the Tigers. Who else will you be facing off with today in Brookings?
Yeah, we'll start off here with Harrisburg, then we'll play Brookings, and then we'll play Aberdeen Central today, and then follow it up tomorrow with a match against Aberdeen Roncalli and Huron. So of the 5 duels, 4 of them are ESD matchups head-to-head. And, you hate to say that you can make or break your season in 2 days, but at the same time, you can definitely set yourself up pretty nice for the, ESD tournament with a good weekend here on the court. So, the girls are focused, they're ready to play, and, and the weather's going to be great, and, it's on the girls. They put it on themselves. They train hard. We're not a young team anymore. We've all got experience, and so it's on them. They need to go out and perform, and I think we're primed to do that.
5 duels over 2 days up in Brookings. It can take a lot out of your team. How did you guys kind of prepare physically for this with conditioning and everything, knowing you're going to be playing a lot of matches, basically all back-to-back, it feels?
Yeah, it's kind of a mental game, especially right now. The weather's not too terrible hot, so that's really not taking it too much out of us. So it's just making sure the girls understand, hey, it's going to be a long day. I don't care what condition you're in. The other girl on the other side of the net's going to be in just as good a shape. So when you're the first matchup of the day, you're feeling pretty good, but you just have to understand the last matchup of the day, match number 3. It could be your 6th match of the day when you talk about singles and doubles. And you just have to understand that the other girl on the other side of the net's in the same boat. And it becomes kind of a battle of attrition a little bit and a battle of the minds. And I think our girls, with their experience, are as mentally tough as they come. And, that bodes well for us.
All right, Coach, thanks for taking the time to talk to me today. Good luck for the rest of your duels up in Brookings. I know you're rounding out 3 today as we're speaking, and then on Saturday you got 2 more. So it should be a great weekend, as you said. A lot of things can set you up for ESD play, so good luck, and hopefully everything goes well when we talk to you next week.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.
All right, thanks to Braden and Coach Haig for making the interview happen for the Coach's Corner. And now let's talk Yankton cross country. Excuse me, Yankton traveled to Sioux Falls Paisley Park for the O'Gorman invite yesterday. And again, Braden caught up with Coach Savvy for the Coach's Corner yesterday on the Pizza Ranch phone line.
This is Braden Butler for the Coach's Corner. Joining me is Caitlin Savvy, the head coach for Yankton Cross Country. Coach Savvy, you, I presume, are on your way, if not already in Sioux Falls for a meet hosted by O'Gorman, the season opening meet. So how's your team feeling today heading up for their first meet of the season?
Yeah, we just got to our course, and some kids are already out warming up, and they're just very excited. I think these kids are ready to kick off the season, and this is going to be a great meet for them. The weather is beautiful, so really pumped and just ready to see what they can throw down today.
And give us some background on the team, any senior leaders you might have, any upper class leaders that you might have, and when did practice start for your squad as well? I know this being your first meet, practice doesn't always start like 3 days before the season or anything like that.
Right. So we kicked off 2 weeks ago on the 15th, and it's been super cool to just see how our team has come together. On our guys' side, we've had really great leadership between Abe Chance and Harrison Krowski, and then our other seniors with Taylor Wensloff, Jackson Slowey, and Aiden Harrell. And they're just leading those younger guys to be competitive and live out just this Bucks culture that we're trying to bring, where we want to place at big meets. And it takes a lot of effort in practices, and it's been super cool to watch them buy in. On our girls' side, we have our seniors, Sophie Petrum and Ava Johannesson, and they've been such great just models for our younger gals. And I'm super excited because we have a great team of young talent and just that older wisdom that's going to mesh together to lead us to the end of the season. And it's going to be pretty cool what will happen. But very excited for them to showcase all that today.
You know, with a fall sports season, cross country, you couldn't pay me to run the lengths that these guys and girls run a week in and week out. So can you give an idea of how often you guys have these invites and these meets, and how long does the season run, just to give some background for some people who might not be as familiar with the cross country team and their season?
Yeah, so this first meet, we don't do a full 5K. We do just under, which is a great confidence boost for these kids because just having 2 weeks under our belt of practice, a lot of them put in a ton of work this summer, but we're still kind of trying to get that competitive speed, and so we're working up to it. So just under 5K today, but all our other meets should be 5Ks, and that's about 3 miles. And it is a lot of grit that these kids have to put in to finish that. But they know it's worth it, and they know that they can trust the training that they've done every week that brings them to that race. So,
and then how long is your guys' season? How by the end of it, when does everything wrap up, the state tournament and everything like that? I know heading into meet number 1, you're probably not thinking about that state tournament quite yet, but when does everything wrap up for you guys?
yeah, so I like to call that our championship season when we hit ESD. That's kind of our first week of October, and then we have state that third week in October, and it's a lot of fun when we get to that month because we are dialed in, we are at our peak fitness, and just mentally, like, we know what we want to accomplish. This year we're going out to Rapid for state, so we're going to incorporate a lot of hills. I feel like we're super lucky to have Yankton's own horse trails, which is just such a mental battle, even physical too.
Well, Coach Savvy, thank you for taking time to talk to us today. I wish you luck in your opening meet today. And as we're talking today, yesterday, as this is being played for the Coach's Corner and throughout your entire season, best of luck to you and your team.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's go over some top results for the Yankton Gazelles from that meet. Rylan Jackson, she ran a 16:46.34. And then it was Abby Johannesson, 16:55.65, finished 18th. And then it was Mary Rounds and Delaney Yeomans, along with Ava Johannesson and Sophia Pethram, all finished consecutively.
Want to take the hassle out of servicing your heating or cooling system? Then sign up for the Kaiser Signature Membership Program. This is Chris Frick with Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Not only will you get peace of mind knowing your units are being serviced regularly, but being a Kaiser Signature member gives you priority service, a discount on parts and labor, and no overtime rates. Take comfort and let our qualified professional technicians keep you running.
Be the wiser and go with Kaiser. Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton.
Yeah, that was my bad. I had myself muted on the radio portion of this, so I apologize. Well, let's get caught up again. Those top performers for the Gazelles in that invite. It was Rylan Jackson, finished 16th, 16:46.34. And then Abby Johannesson finished 16:55.65. And then finishing consecutively 4 in a row at number 25, 6, 7, and 8 was Yankton's Mary Rounds, Delaney Yeomans, Ava Johannesson, and Sophia Pethram. And that was 17:42.33 all the way down to 18:33.49. For the boys, top performers, finishing 4th, Abram Chance, 13:23.51. And finishing 9th, Harrison Kraske, 13:52.35. And then Brighton Olson, 14th at 14:17.13. And Luca Jacobson at 24th, 15.61. Lucas Femer, 26th, 15:06.86. And Caden Hunoff at 31st, 15:27.62. And Ethan Brendan finished 34th, 15:37.99. Results from that invite. And yeah, the sun is just beating down on me here. But luckily, that's it. That we went over Yankton Athletics. We did it. And thanks to all the coaches that showed up to Hillcrest Golf Course, those that took the time to be interviewed for the on the Pizza Ranch phone line for the show. And congratulations to all Yankton Bucks and Gazelles Athletics for a successful week of competition. And to Yankton Bucks football last night, a big victory at Crane Youngworth Field. Thanks to Zach Clark, our KYNT studio producer here today, and to Hillcrest Golf Course for making accommodations for us to have the show remotely here today. And Of course, all of our sponsors making things possible. Go Bucks, go Gazelles, go enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm Bryce Ladwig. This has been the Coach's Corner on KYNT, KYNTV.